Well, good Thursday evening, everyone. I almost said Saturday morning, but it is not. It's a Thursday evening, and we've got a very special Radio Wasteland Live coming at you this evening here from the store. I'm going to cover a little bit of the Record Store Day Black Friday releases. Usually we've done some sort of a preview and kind of done them as a pre-taped thing. And I thought tonight, why not just do a little live chat for those of you that care to, and we can talk about some of the releases. We can talk about the prices for some of the releases and go from there and just talk about the numbers and see what we have got going on. So we'll take as long as we need to. I just want to leave eventually. How's that? Because it has been a busy, busy day. I think we've got everything up and running correctly. If not, please let me know, because we're going to try some funky stuff with the with everything going on here. So let me just get my stuff set up and ready to go and see if there is a comment. Anne, right off the bat, saying hi and happy Thursday evening. Thanks for being here, Anne, and hopefully we'll answer some questions for everyone. So whether you're watching now or whether you're watching a little bit later on, we will get to the Record Store Day releases and my thoughts on some of them and cover them here in a little bit. But we'll also, Pat is saying hi. Hey, Pat, long time no see. Just want to cover the rules for those of you who are new to Record Store Day, new to vinyl collecting and the like. Record Store Day is just a fantastic, it's just a great, great thing for independent record stores to take part in. The April one is truly where it's at, but the Black Friday one started not too far back, but it gives an opportunity for another batch of releases to come out. So we get to live through this as well. But the whole idea with Record Store Day Black Friday is that the RSD group really wanted to take this past just a one-day event like the April Record Store Day typically is and move it into kind of a seasonal thing. So yes, they do have some special releases coming out on Black Friday, but the idea is that they want this to carry forward into the Christmas season, so to speak, from Black Friday all the way through till December. Not that those releases are going to last. Some of them probably not much past the morning, depending on what they do and how they work. But if you've been around and you see how some Record Store Day work, you know, it's like, Chuck, hello, Chuck. Thank you for watching this evening as well. So when it comes to the Record Store Day releases, again, this is for the folks that were new. Let me just blow through this real quickly. We, as a pledged Record Store Day store, this is Radio Wasteland, and we signed the pledge with the RSD folks. In signing the pledge, this allows us to sell the Record Store Day exclusives and the first runs and all the other RSD stuff exclusively. So you won't get these at a big box store, but only at independent record stores. But in order for us to be allowed to sell these on Record Store Day proper in April, and again on Record Store Day Black Friday, we signed the pledge. And that pledge basically states that we will not price gouge on these like those darn flippers do on eBay. Or Discogs as well. We will not sell early, we cannot hold, and we cannot reserve these titles. So any of the titles that we talk about tonight through this special RSD preview are just basically for your informational purposes. It's up to you to decide how badly you want them, because some of them are really, really, really limited runs. Others, there's lots. But as a record store owner and having gone through, well, several of the Black Fridays and Record Store Days proper over the past few years, I can tell you we don't always get what we ask for. Sometimes we get a little more, sometimes we get a little less, but if it's a truly, truly in-demand title, then we're not likely to get as many copies as we want to. Now, a couple of weeks back, a week or so back, on the Facebook page, we put up a thread that we called the RSD wish list, and that is basically just to help us decide how much and what to order of the RSD titles. By wishing for it, you do not actually get guaranteed that you're going to get it. We're not even guaranteed that we'll get as many copies, but that is the best way possible for you to let us know what you want us to try to get, and we'll do whatever we can to make sure we get enough copies of that release that you've mentioned. Now, that wish list is still up there on the Facebook page, but if you're on Twitter, you're looking at us on YouTube, send us a comment. You can send an email. All the same, just send us a note and we will add that item to our order sheet. Now, this needs to be in rather soon. The deadline for us to order is early next week, so we're going to kind of cut off the wish lists on Sunday evening. So our store closes at 5 o'clock on Sunday. That's a good enough time for me. So find a way to communicate to us your wish list by Sunday at 5 p.m., and we'll add that into our orders. Now, if it comes in a little late, we'll do what we can to put in, but your best chance of us requesting what you're looking for is to get word to us by Sunday evening at 5 o'clock. So that being said, let's see, we got a few things to cover. Oh, you know what? There's one other little announcement I want to make too. And for those of you who watch our Saturday morning lives, we kind of teased this the other day. And well, folks, here it is. The new Radio Wasteland website is up. It is active. It is ready to go. And we've already gotten some orders, some online orders, even from that, which is very, very, very cool. So I'm going to reveal this to you guys tonight. We're going to use this to look at the Record Store Day releases, even because you can do that as well. It doesn't give you all the information that I've got, like the prices, but it'll give you an idea of what we're looking at. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, if you head over to, not right now, you got to watch the video, but later on, head over to radiowastelandrecords.com and you will see our brand spanking new website. Now, this is a very cool and very interactive website that we have had put together. It covers new releases. It's got some featured releases in there. We've managed to put in some of our high-end collectibles in here in the shop store and high-end collectible vinyl. But this is a great way for us to move forward as a record store. Now, yes, you can pre-order new releases from this new website. If you're out of town, and we've had folks ask, can we get stuff from the store? This is a great way to do it. We do have that Discogs store, but not everything's up there. But this allows you to order stuff even before we can get it in the store, which is under the new releases and the upcoming releases. So if you kind of click around on this at a later date, you'll kind of see what we've got going on. But pre-order upcoming releases, you hit that, and you're going to get lots of other information. Yeah, the Guns N' Roses stuff. We'll talk about this Saturday on our Saturday new release show. But this is a comprehensive list of new releases. It includes some of them with video, some with audio samples. And right off the bat, you can pre-order and choose to have it shipped. Or, and this is the coolest thing, you can pre-order and have it held here at the store for the day of release. So that is the brand new website, radiowastelandrecords.com. We'll talk more about this as we get a little further into everything. But when you do have a chance to check it out, please do so. Give it a check. And it's pretty cool. And I'm happy with it so far. But we got a lot of tweaking yet to do, but it'll be fun as we go through. Chuck says it looks cool. Thank you. I do agree with that. Okay, so onward to the Record Store Day. This is why you guys are here. You're giving up your Thursday evening when you could be out doing something. Well, it's nice and cool outside. It's t-shirt weather for me, but hey. So on our website, or you could go to recordstoreday.com, but on the website, right under the shop store, you can click on the RSD Black Friday link. You'll see that right here. So we'll go ahead and click on that, and that will take us to Record Store Day, Black Friday. It should be working. It better be working. There it is. Okay. So we get to the Black Friday. Now you can, from this page here, click on that PDF. And for those of you who are a little old fashioned and you want to do so, you can click then print that PDF right out. But further on down, you've got a way to sort. We're going to go the list view because that actually is going to give us some of the covers that we can go through. You can switch that over to a grid view as well. And that's probably going to kick in just a second here. But the grid view. Oh, no, we're in the grid view. Sorry, you can go to the list view. But the grid view is cooler because we get the previews on the covers. So without any further ado, now, if you have any questions, please just type the comment in and we'll see it. I'm seeing the comments come in live from both Facebook and from YouTube. Looks like everybody's watching on YouTube, which is great. Are we even on Facebook right now? Let's see here. Hold on. Give me just a moment and see if we are on Facebook proper. We are. Okay. There it is. I'm seeing the stuff on Facebook. So we'll let that go from there. But yeah, please feel free to kick any questions our way throughout this, and we will do our best to answer them. And I'm not going to mention prices for everything. So that's where this question and answer comes in. If you see something that you're curious about and you're looking for budgetary purposes, just let us know. Now, I didn't count the entire list. Let me get over to my other sheet here and see what we have got number-wise. Looking like there is I'm counting probably close to 150 plus releases for this Black Friday event. So there's a lot to go through, and I do not want to go through all 150 of them. But again, that's where the comments come in as well. Thank you. You saw that on Facebook, Ann. I do see that. Thanks. So some of the big ones, let's see here. As we go through, we see the America one. You can click on Quick View just to kind of get a snapshot of this. And this does not give you the number of presses, by the way. I'll have to look that up for you and see in here. But there's typically an America thing that comes in. So this particular America release, let me get to my other sheet here again. Bear with me while I'm juggling 12 different windows. The America, this is a live at the Goodbye Summer Festival, recorded live in 1971. So this is kind of a neat one. Title features a 12-inch vinyl and a 45. Oh, no, the 12-inch vinyl is 45 RPM, and the CD includes inner sleeve notes with the band. This is the first time this content has been released on any format whatsoever. So that it's a 12-inch. Looks like there is a few songs on there. It's got some of America's biggest hits. So that could be a cool one. If you see that one, by the way, looks like it's going to list for about $30. So again, I'm going to click back and forth the comments. If you have a question on something, by all means, just flag me down and we'll kick that in there. Tyler Bates, the soundtrack, he's done some stuff, obviously some real cool soundtrack stuff with, Guardians of the Galaxy, for example, was one that we would always get as well. So there's a Tyler Bates release for The Watchmen. Beck, All in Your Mind. Okay, let's see what this Beck one is. On the quick view here, it's 20th anniversary of the Beck Sea Change album with this special edition third record. Oh, okay, 3-inch, I'm sorry. So what this is, let me talk a little bit about this because that's kind of a, I'm not a fan. Let me just put it that way. Not really a fan of the 3-inch records. This is kind of a little quirky thing they came out with a couple of years back through the Crosley folks. And they put out a 3-inch record player from Crosley. And so, excuse me, once in a while, they'll kick in with these 3-inch record releases for there. And that, folks, is what this is. That is a 3-inch record from Beck. So we probably won't get one. If somebody has one of those 3-inch record players and you want us to, we'll put in for one, but not a fan of it. They don't really sound that great. So I've seen a couple of requests come in for the Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga Cheek to Cheek live. That's kind of a cool one. We got something from Black Label Society, Sarvace and MF Doom, Nautical Death, Black Friday. That is a cool release. And another one, the Mando Calrissian. Some very cool graphic art, comic book type things with the Czarface stuff. So looks like there's 3 different releases on there. Don't know the runs. If you're curious, let me know. Let's see here. What else is popping out for me? A couple of Iggy Pops. Okay. Chandran. Yeah. Chandran's kicking in. Never saw the appeal of the 3. It's a gimmick. Some people dig them, and that's cool if you do. Just not for me. We did get to hear one of those turntables when it came out. Did not sound very nice. So it truly is just a gimmicky thing. Excuse me there. Okay. So the Iggy Pop releases, there are 2 here, RSD Black Friday, and let's see what the difference is on those 2 Iggy Pops. Let's see here. And why is that up so high on the list is another question. Let's find Iggy. Let's just type in an Iggy and find it. Okay. So the Iggy Pop stuff, let's see. Looks like, okay, one is a vinyl release. Looks like it's going to list for about $30. Apris has never been released in the US before. There was a limited run in 2012 for a release in Europe, according to our description, but it is Iggy Pop's 16th studio release that includes the crooner covers sung in both French and English. Both the LP and CD version are currently out of print and completely unavailable. So this RSD Black Friday package has new cover art, a new poster, and a never released bonus track. So the vinyl deluxe package includes an OBI strip, a gatefold album jacket, printed inner sleeve and original record labels and solid pink vinyl. Now, the other Iggy Pop that you see in here is a compact disc. So we don't typically order those here at the store, but that will be a compact disc. So this is a CD version. Again, looks like the Iggy Pop vinyl will list for about $30. And the CD, which they're calling a vinyl lookalike CD, is listing for about $15. Yep, Chuck says it is a CD as well. So there we have Iggy. Okay, this is a cool one, and that's not only because we've got some local flavor to it, but Question Mark and the Mysterians doing a neat release. Michigan's premier garage rock band from the 60s and 70s, all the way through here. So we've got the description here. And this looks like it is a fairly full-size album. And some demos from 66, some cool stuff on there. Let me get to my description for the Question Mark and the Mysterians. Okay, Cave Stomp presents Are You For Real? The Question Mark and the Mysterians, coming from MVD Entertainment Group. Listing for about $25 is what this is going to be. So the 14-track set includes a 1966 demo of Are You For Real, along with a 1998 concert recording of I Need Somebody. He also features covers of Suicide's Sherry and The Liars Don't Give Up Now. The set makes its vinyl debut on the psychedelic splatter purple vinyl. So a must-have for those of us here in the Saginaw Valley area. Question Mark and the Mysterians. Of course, a friend of ours here from the store, Bobby Balderrama, the guitarist for Question Mark and the Mysterians. A great guy, and this is actually a very, very cool story to share about Bobby, is the fact that he has recharted and has gotten he's charted again with his smooth jazz solo work. So Bobby is doing some really cool stuff. You get a chance, look for him if you're a fan of smooth jazz, but he's got some really, really cool music out there above and beyond his Question Mark and the Mysterians days. So the Question Mark and the Mysterians release, by the way, I did mention $25 list price. Looks like there's only going to be 1,250 of them available. And I do need to check to see if that's a first run or it's probably a regional release is my guess on that. So if you're looking for that, please let us know, because that's going to be a cool one to have as well. Let's see. Red Hot Chili Peppers. They are in here. Frank Black, Francis Black, Black Francis is there. Keith Richards' Main Offender solo album from him. Looks like that's on here. Jonathan Richman. We have some Smokey Robinsons, Pete Rock, Dave Davies of the Kinks in here as well. Now, the Dead Milkmen, I did talk about this. If you are a subscriber to our YouTube channel, thank you. But if you're not, why aren't you? Please subscribe, by the way. Hit that down here. But I did a little segment last week on this Dead Milkmen release. If you get a chance afterwards, check that out, because this is one that I'm excited about. The Dead Milkmen. That one is, let's see. That's a thick one, unfortunately. It looks like it's going to list for about $50, but it's going to come with the coloring book and a 7-inch single. And there's only going to be 2,500 of them for the country. And as I recall, that is a RSD first release, which means that it will be reissued at some point in time all the way through there. Oh, we got Mike Scott Spins kicking in here. Hang on, Mike. Let me get your comment called up. He camps out every RSD Black Friday, just like for the Jazz Dispensary release. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, camping out's a fun thing. In Michigan in November, it's hit or miss. As we said before, it could either be 60 degrees on the day after Thanksgiving or 20 degrees with snow. You never know. That's what we love about Michigan. So Dead Milkmen, by the way, high up on my list as well. RTJ, Run the Jewels are in here again. Okay, the Doors, the Paris Blues. The Doors, there's usually a cool Doors release affiliated with each of the Black Fridays. This is a compilation of the Doors' greatest live blues recordings, both from the studio and on stage, featuring some never-before-released tracks. Paris Blues and original artwork created for this release by none other than Robbie Krieger himself. So the Doors, let's see here. The Doors, Paris Blues, $25 list price on that. And that should not be a problem getting a hold of that one. There will be 10,000 of them pressed. So that is a high number. I think we're going to be pretty good with the with that Doors release coming in here as well. So let's see, the Todd Rundgren is in there, Dream Window, David Bowie, The Next Day. Okay, a couple of cool Bowie ones. And let's see if we're looking at I guess we didn't see how they've got these listed, so we're not seeing everything at once. We'll have to see if the other Bowie one is down here. But the Bowie EP, Next Day Extra, contains various album outtakes and remixes from Bowie's Next Day album. So from the summer of 2013, some unreleased songs in here as well. So for you Bowie fans, I know you're a few of you out there, so you can check that one out. I had some questions. Let's see, the Duran Duran Hammersmith in 82 looks like they are performing that as a live performance through there. Let's see. Okay, Billie Eilish. I did have some questions on the Billie Eilish release. This is a Record Store Day version of Happier Than Ever. And I think that the only difference, and the questions were, what is the difference between the release that came out earlier and this one as well? And Billie here. The indie exclusive release of this originally was on kind of brownish goldish vinyl, and it looks like this one is going to be on black vinyl. But the difference is, aside from the $50 list price, this one is going to be pressed on 100% recycled black vinyl in a rainbow foil jacket with a lithograph print included in on that. I do not have a number on our description as far as how many of those are being pressed, so we'd have to look that one up, or you can find that info from the Record Store Day website. But as I mentioned, that one coming in a little thicker on the price tag. That one listing for about $50. So the Billie Eilish one. And from what I said, I don't think there's any huge difference between that and the regular commercial pressing of that album. So, okay. Well, let's see what else is popping out here. Brian Ferry is kind of cool. Okay, the Fleetwood Mac alternate collection. This is also an interesting one. Once in a while, we get these Fleetwood Mac alternate takes. It's basically the entire album. And I know there's no polite way to put this, but they're typically the tracks that weren't good enough to make the final cut. I don't mean to say it like that, because for some fans and super fans, these are going to be very cool, rare look into the band and itself and their creative process. So this collection of rare alternative Fleetwood Mac tracks from 75 through 87, previously released on individual Record Store Day and Black Friday events, they are now grouped together in one vinyl or CD box set. And this is, because of that, going to be a very, very large item to get in here. So the alternate collection CD box set looks like it's going to list for about $70. And the vinyl box set is an 8 LP box set, by the way. Let's see. Collected together, as I mentioned, the set will include the alternate Fleetwood Mac, the alternate Rumors, the alternate Tusk, double LP, the alternate Live, the alternate Mirage, and the alternate Tango in the Night. So that is coming in at a list price for 8 albums, for those albums, 8 record set for $130. So again, that's kind of a big one. But if you've been collecting the alternate Fleetwood Mac, or if you haven't, and you want to get everything at once, that's kind of a cool way to grab a hold of that and go from there. So that's a big one as well. Excuse me. Oh, looks like we've got a couple. There's a soundtrack. Steve Forbert. All right. Who's familiar with Steve Forbert? Forbert in there. This is kind of a guilty pleasure artist. And this is a recording of the singer-songwriter from a show from, 20 years ago now, 2000, at the famed New York Showcase Club. So let's see. Some of his big tunes. I don't know if they're on there. I listen to some Forbert stuff once in a while. It's a very cool singer-songwriter, but it's interesting stuff. You got to kind of get used to it. Okay, Fountains of Wayne, Traffic and Weather. Looks like that is back here as well. And we have a 4 tops. So let's see. Go to the next page. Again, let me know if you guys have any questions. I don't mean to just be chatting away up here, but And it looks like we're having some connection issues. That's because I'm doing multiple things at once as we head onto this. So there we go. We are loading up. Okay, let's see. Ace Frehley. There's an Ace Frehley Origins Volume 2. It's a picture disc version of Ace's 2020 covers album with an Ace Christmas card included in on that. So if you're curious about that, I don't know what the pricing is. Let's see here. Ace Frehley. It looks like that's going to come in as a picture disc at $35. First time picture disc collection. And looks like there will be 5,000 of those pressed. So that should be fairly easy to get a hold of for you Ace Frehley fans. And again, our descriptions here do not say whether or not they are record store day firsts. Let me see if I can find on that real quick. That way we should be answering those questions as well. Because when you see something that says record store day exclusive, that means this is the only time that you're going to get it. It will be pressed only for that record store day. When you see record store day first, that means that it's going to be reissued at some point down the line. So Ace Frehley is an RSD first. That means that will be reissued at some point down the line as well. So, okay, Smash Mouth, Fu Shu Mang. This, I guess if you're going to have a Smash Mouth album, this is the one to have because, of course, it's got Walking on the Sun on there, as well as, oh shoot, what was their big one? Why can't I even think of that big one on through there? But Walking on the Sun is a big one. I am partial, by the way, to Smash Mouth Beer Goggles. That is a fun song. It's got a little bit more of a punky feel to it. But the Smash Mouth release is going to be, let's see. There it is. Okay. No, Smash Mouth. From Real Gone Music, looks like it's listing at about $29, and it is a 3,000 pressing. So that one may be a little tougher. Once you get under that 5,000 mark, it may get a little tougher to see. The Smash Mouth is an RSD first, so that will be reissued again at some point in time as well. But that is a fun one all the same. Let's see what else we have going on here. Tower of Power 40th anniversary live. Some cool funk stuff there. Christmas. If you're looking for a Christmas album, Lizzie Hale and Dee Snider. 12-inch single. I said album. This is a 12-inch single with an instrumental and an album version of Magic of Christmas Day by those two heavy metalish rockers there. Jefferson Airplane live. We have from the Monterey International Pop Festival, recorded in 1967. Let's see what kind of info we can get you guys on this one. This is an RSD first. Looks like just 2,500 pressed on that one. And the cost will be, nobody asked. That's Yorma. There is a Yorma one. So let's see here. Jefferson Airplane Live looks like it's a $26 list price on there as well. And as we mentioned, just 2,500 of those pressed. So for you Airplane fans, it's a cool one. Jerry Garcia Band in here as well. Let me check if there's any questions. Yeah, the Jefferson Airplane does look pretty cool if you're into that older stuff as well. Rick kicking in a question. Will we be ordering the Eric Burdon and War Complete? We can for you, sir. If you're looking for one, we will try to get it. Again, knowing the rules that there are no holds, but we'll talk about that when we get down to it. But we'll let you know. And if anything else, Rick, send me a message and we'll get, oh, there it is right here. Eric Burdon and War, the complete album set from Eric Burdon and War. Let's see, transparent violet vinyl. Oh, several. Black Man's Burdon and Translucent Sun for the first time. So let me see what our info says about this. Eric Burdon and War, the complete vinyl set. Hang on 2 seconds here, folks. Again, too many windows happening. I'm actually just thankful that our cable system's holding both of these going the other way. Okay. Eric Burdon and War, Black Friday, 4 LP set coming from Rhino. Quantity of 2,500 for the country on that. So that may be a medium type of get. We'll see what happens there, but it's a 4 LP set. Original 3 albums from Eric Burdon and War. Eric Burdon Declares War, Black Man's Burden, double LP, and Love Is All Around for the first time on vinyl since its original release. A list price on that coming in at $80 by the looks of it. And as I mentioned, 2,500 is the pressing run on that. And it's an RSD exclusive. So what that means that is the only time that we're going to be able to get a hold of that is through the Record Store Day event. So we will put in for one of those, Mr. Rick, and see if we can get one here or two, if depending if more folks want them. So Snoop Dogg is on here. Okay, Janice Joplin. For those of you Joplin fans, I know we had a couple of questions on this one. This is Janice Joplin and Jorma Kaukonen. I hope I'm saying that correctly when I put that out there yet. Jorma Kaukonen from Jefferson Airplane originally. Legendary. Now, this is interesting because it's the legendary 1964 rehearsal collaboration, and this is getting its first official issue. Restoration and mastering by Grammy Award-winning engineer Michael Graves. Packaging contains rare photos and liner notes from Jorma Kaukonen, released with full cooperation from the Kaukonen and Janice Joplin estate. So that is, let's see where that comes in as a first, or otherwise it is an RSD first. So that means that will be reissued. 3,500 copies of that will be pressed. And the list price for the Joplin and Jorma Kaukonen looks at about $23. So that could be a cool one to have. Definitely does not look like, that's a very, very young Janice Joplin on there, by the way. So very, very cool to see. Steve May is here. Hi, Steve. How are you? Yet to look over the list. Yeah, it should be that side project. Set some time about. Yeah, the War Box does sound interesting. And so it looks like we're probably going to have to put in for a couple of those. Hopefully we will do our best to get them. All right. Soul Coughing. That's kind of cool. I would not have seen that in there. I've not looked over the full list myself, by the way, and I've got to finish my stuff in here as well. Ghost Imperia. Ghost was just in Saginaw last week. I hear they put on a great, great show. So we have now got a Ghost Imperia. I wanted to do the quick view on that, by the way. So this is just a reissue picture. I'm sorry, it's a picture disc. There we go. So the Ghost Imperia picture disc looks like that's going to list for about $30, and there will be 9,000 of them pressed. So that should not be a difficult one to get a hold of. We should be able to hopefully get several of those. Ultravox. Looks like there's a CD set on there as well. There's the Jorma Kaukonen, Too Many Years solo album on there. Sparks Live at the Record Plant, 1974. Excuse me, one of pop's most beloved and influential cult bands. I think Steve Carlson and I have talked. You do not see Sparks stuff show up very often in the vintage vinyl side of things. So let's see what we've got on Sparks. Live at the Record Plant in 74 from the Orchard, listing at about $30. 12 inch listed as a 12. No, it's 12 inch, so it's probably not a full album. 2,500 of them pressed on that. So that may be a tougher get. RSD exclusive. So that means that is the one and only time that we're going to get a hold of that is if we get that through the RSD stuff. Check and see. And let's see here. Rick's going to save his pennies and dimes. We all do for this stuff as well. And definitely needs the Ghost. We will put in for those. And of course, as well. And Steve, you never see Sparks. It used to be Dollar Bin all the way through. Okay, what else do we have kicking in here? Rick Springfield, Jessie's Girl. A 12-inch single that collects 5 versions of Jessie's Girl to celebrate the song's 40th anniversary. I don't know how I feel about this. What do you guys think? I mean, I think you really, really, really got to love that song to be able to want to get a 12-inch. Looks like it's going to list for about $20, and it's got five, as we mentioned, five girls of Jessie's Girl, or five versions of Jessie's Girl. 2,500 of those pressed. Let's see if they're planning on doing that. RSD exclusive, so when it's gone on that one, and there's not that many of them. So the versions, according to the descriptions, Jessie's Girl, let's see, there's a live recording, 40th anniversary live from the Living Oz tour in 83, so two lives. Jessie's Girl, the Spanish language version, and the 2016 version, and a Jessie's Girl demo. So one live from 1981, one Spanish version, a 2016 remix, and a demo version of I just spent way too much time talking about four versions of Jessie's Girl than I needed to take up an hour in our time here. So if you want that, let us know. Some punk from Goldfinger. I almost said SVSU, but that is not what that is. We will just skip right by it. Let's see. A Grateful Dead, usually a big one. This is the Wembley. Available for the first time on vinyl. The Grateful Dead opened their Fame's Europe 72 tour at Wembley. So let's see what our stuff says about the Grateful Dead Wembley here. We'll get that called up. Wembley Empire Pool from the Grateful Dead, Record Store Day, Black Friday exclusive release. So that is going to be the only time. Looks like 7,500 of them pressed, and it is a 5 LP set. Let's see what the cost is going to be with a 5 LP. I can imagine it's going to be up there a little bit. The Wembley Empire Pool listing at $125. So available, as we said, for the first time on LP. 5 LP, 180 gram vinyl box set, limited edition of 10,000. According to our thing there, it says 10,000 here. But it says 7,000 on the Record Store Day site. So there's obviously a mistake somewhere in our communications. So we'll go from there. Oh, by the way, let's see. I missed a couple of these on the Rick. Yeah, it was great in Bay City. Yes, he was. Damn sure he played his heart out there. And I heard that was a cool show as well. Can handle 4 versions, but 5 is too much. So, all right. So Grateful Dead, that's a big box set, as we said, coming in a little hefty on the price tag at $125. All right. Captain Beefheart Clear Spot 50th anniversary gun club. So some more cool punk showing up on here as well. A Ringo Starr, Ringo the Fourth is on there. Let's see if anybody else kicks in. No questions, so we're good. Juliana Hatfield, looks like a 12-inch single. Madonna, 40th anniversary of Everybody. Let's see, that's got to be a CD. Let's see. If you guys want me to do anything or look at anything in particular, stop me. Let me know. I'll talk a little bit further about it as we let this next page load, and hopefully we get into it a little further. But yeah, by all means, just ask away. If you're curious about something that I didn't get to, let me know, and we'll look it up here. Some Missing Persons, the Heartbreakers. Let's see. Another Ringo. There's a lot of Ringo Starr on here as well. Mad Lib. What is Mad Lib? Let's see what Mad Lib is. According to Steve, he's asking about that. I don't think it is. Mad Lib. Mad Lib launched an ambitious series of releases known Medicine Show. I don't know what Mad Lib is. Does anybody want to kick in? Let's see here. 5,000 RSD exclusive release. Series touches on genres that Mad Lib excels. Just about any genre you can consider, from jazz to rock to soul to African music and reggae. But here in the 11th installment of the series, Mad Lib kicks it in hip-hop fashion. Okay, so these look to be a group that explores different genres. Lib Invasion presents a lo-fi music on exclusive colored vinyl pressing. Okay, so Matt's, we'll talk about this a bit further. I'm going to do some more research on Lib, but it looks like it lists for $30, and there will be 5,000 of those printed. Okay, Chandran asking, oh, there it is. Steve Carlson, Matt, it's jazz and rap and a little bit of everything. Chandran kicking in from the Great White North, but only to the east. And anything about the Harry Chapin or Oscar Peterson? So I'll tell you what, let's take a look here. And we'll kick back into the Harry Chapin or Oscar Peterson. Harry Chapin release, Story of a Life, the complete hit singles. Looks like it's a 7-track release. It's the first Harry Chapin collection to come out on vinyl for the independent record store community in the modern reissue era. And it's got all the hits in there and the rare single versions issued with the full cooperation of his estate. Story of a Life, the complete hit singles collection, includes liner notes and photos, limited to 2,000 copies worldwide, pressed on yellow taxi vinyl. So 1,400. Again, quantity 1,400, but their description says 2,000. Let's see what the cost on that is going to be. From Real Gone Music, looks like that's going to list for about $26. And our second descriptor says that there are 1,400 copies being pressed worldwide. So that could be a tougher one to get a hold of as well. So let's see. Mike Scott Spins asking about the David Bowie and Bing Crosby release. Yep, that one is another one. So let's get over to that real quick here. Let's try our little thing here and try the. I don't want to do a search there. That's going to be tough. I may not be able to call the picture up on that one, but I can give you the info here. David Bowie and Bing Crosby release. This is one that's getting a lot of interest. Folks have been asking about that, and we've got a bunch of wish list requests for it. This is the Peace on Earth and Little Drummer Boy. Let's see if we can find it here for you guys. I'm going to go off reservation and we'll try the search mechanism so we can see if we can make that work. Bing Crosby, RSD. There it is. Bing Crosby, David Bowie. There we go. Okay. Let's take a closer look at this one. So the Peace on Earth and Little Drummer Boy, it's a 12-inch coming from here. It's a RSD exclusive release. So this will not be reissued after the fact. The Now Classic Duet, you can see that video on YouTube. It's just absolutely fantastic. It's been a Christmas staple for years now. But this is the Now Classic Duet from with David Bowie and Bing Crosby's 1977 television special, Merry Old Christmas. This is coming on a 12-inch candy cane swirled 12-inch single. So side A features Peace on Earth and Little Drummer Boy, which is the video that we've all seen. Side B is the White World of Winter live at the Hollywood Palace in 1965. So cost on that, let's see. Looks like that's going to list for about $18 for a 12-inch single. And Green Hill presents the special 12-inch. It's a 45 RPM single commemorating the 45th anniversary of Bing Crosby and David Bowie Christmas duet. Pressed on candy cane vinyl. The single is backed with the rare Bing Crosby track, White World of Winter, recorded live in Hollywood in 1965. There will be 5,000 of these pressed. And from what I'm gathering demand-wise, it's going to be a tough one to get. We'll do our best to get a hold of a ton of them. But that's going to be, I think, probably one of the more in-demand releases that we can expect, I think, for this Record Store Day Black Friday. That is the, that's my prediction, is that's going to be kind of a big one as we kick up in there. Hi, Pat. Hi, Steve. We get a chat room, guys. Nick, hey, what's up? Nothing much, just running through stuff, Nick. Thank you, Mike. We have answered that and answered Ann's question as well. And let's see. Kevin says, how about Cheech and Chong, Santa Claus, and his old lady? Okay. That's what we'll do next. Let's kick on to that. I am probably not going to call that one up. So we'll just call it up here. What do you guys think of this live stream? Is this working okay for you? Is it annoying just listening to me yak and yak? Ask Kim at home how she feels about that. I'm going to get the wrap-up signal from here very soon. Cheech and Chong, Santa Claus and his old lady. From Ode Sounds, the Orchard, listing for about $13. It is a 7-inch vinyl, so it's a 7-inch 45 picture sleeve on colored vinyl, 3,000 of them to be pressed. Let's see what it is here. Santa Claus and his old lady, 7-inch with a picture disc. Oh, so it is a picture disc, not sleeve. I'm sorry. 3,000 pressed according to this, and picture sleeve. Now, let's hold on. There may be a couple of them here, folks. So it's a 7-inch picture disc on colored vinyl, listing for about $13. 3,000 of them pressed. And a 7-inch colored vinyl with a picture sleeve, listing for about $13. 3,000 of those pressed. So according to my sources on there, looks like we've got two different versions of it, but I'm only seeing one on the actual Record Store Day page itself. Okay, so that may be one that we'll have to do a little bit more digging on, because the official site says, the official Record Store Day site says there's only one version out there, but our order sheets, say there are two. So Steve Carlson, oh, cool. You guys are kicking in. Really works fine. Thank you. Listening to the radio. I used to be on the radio, and I was much more boring then, I think. Thanks, Pat. And yes, the interaction is very cool, Mike. Agreed. So, okay. Chandran also asked about the Nico. So let's call that one up very quickly and see what we've got from Nico. Nico at the Library Theater in 1983, listing for about $30. Former member of the Velvet Underground, singer-songwriter Nico, model, actress, you name it. Live at the Hacienda in 83, was a complete sellout for RSD in April of 22 with 3,000 units. Let's see. So this Black Friday exclusive has never been released on vinyl before. The deluxe package includes an OBI strip, single album jacket printed in her sleeve, new record labels unique for this release, and a special crystal clear yellow tint colored vinyl. 3,000 of them are being pressed. And looks like that is a Record Store Day exclusive. So that one with 3,000 could kind of come and go fairly quickly. So that is what we've got there. And I've kind of lost my list on here. So let's see if we can get back in through there. Looking like we're coming up on 7. I wanted to keep this at about a 1 hour thing. So let me just buzz through my sheet as well and see if there's anything else that really pops out for us here. I'm looking at a different sheet here. The Eric Burdon we talked about, the Cheech and Chong, Larry Carell. Oh, The Cure, Wish 30th anniversary edition. I had a couple of people ask about that. 2 LP picture disc by The Cure, listing at about $40. 11,000 of them being pressed, so there should be plenty of those as well. I mentioned the Dave Davies on here, the Dead Milkmen. Devo, Invisible Man EP, 12-inch vinyl, listing for about $20. Brand new live recordings and remixes from Devo's Gerald versus Casale on clear vinyl, 45 RPM. Looks like there'll be about 1,200. So the Devo one, if you're a Devo fan, could be a tough get. Let's see here. We mentioned Fleetwood Mac. Mentioned the Grateful Dead. I have a better alphabetized list I'm going from here, but I don't think you guys would like to look at a spreadsheet here, would you? As well. You never know. You might. We might get some tech heads that thinks that's cool. Thelonious Monk, the classic quartet, $27, 180 gram tip up opaque blue vinyl, 2,500 of them being pressed, and as I mentioned, $27 list price. More of the Monkees coming on green vinyl, the best-selling album from 1967, $37, 2,000 of those being pressed. Motley Crue, the Girls Tour EP, celebrating the 30th anniversary of Motley Crue's iconic 87 album, recreation of the 4-track EP only ever issued in the UK. Was meant to be a UK European release, but the dates were canceled. Super rare collector's piece if you can find it. First time ever on vinyl. The Motley Crue will be a 10-inch, so that's not even a full 12-inch, a 10-inch, listing for about $22 and 4,200 of them being pressed as well. Let's see, My Morning Jacket, a Christmas album coming in here as well. Willie Nelson live at Budokan. Cool, an 84 concert from Willie, listing at about $42. Nugent's, okay, I forgot about this. Ted Nugent's Spirit of the Wild, listing for about $36. Spirit of the Wild ranks as one of Ted Nugent's finest moments because it cuts away the filler and keeps the wild man's tendencies for indulgence in check. Our descriptions are always so fun through here. So that's the Nuge from the Spirit of the Wild. This is the one that's got Fred Bear on it, by the way, for the hunters amongst us. Album marked the return of Nugent's original sound of hard rock. Spirit of the Wild is the theme song for his hunting TV show. And the 6th track, Fred Bear, is the tribute to, of course, Bowman Fred Bear. Never released on vinyl before. So the Nugent looks like there's only 2,000 of those being released, listing for about $36. Let's see if they're listing that as a first or is it a regional. That is an RSD exclusive. So that one will be here and gone and not reissued again. So if you're a Fred Bear fan, that would be one to get a hold of. Let's see here. Yep, the Willie Nelson pad I mentioned as well. And picking up the Jazz Dispensary. Yep, cool. And the Bowie and Bing. Cool gets if you can get a mic. Wish you the best on that. Let's see. I'm going to go through these very, very quickly again. And we'll wrap ourselves up. Oscar Peterson. Live in Zurich. Listing for about $45. Double LP. Let's see here. Mentioned the Iggy Pops, the question mark in the Mysterians. That's another big one for us. Pretty sure. Red Hot Chili Peppers listing for $50. Return of the Dream Canteen. Special version of the new double album from the Peppers. This is the one that there's like 30 different versions of that out there. I'm kidding. I was just waiting for my Carl's Jr. pressing. So the exclusive from there. Sorry, I think I'm getting a little punchy. Time to wrap it up. Let's see here. The Rubinos, Run the Jewels. Shadows Fall. Slaughterhouse. I mentioned the Smash Mouth. Sparks. Lots of Ringo Starr. So we'll look at those a little separately as well. Some Joe Strummer. The Sweet. The Sword. Tower of Power. Let's see. Twisted Ultravox. Yep, the Jazz Dispensary Mike mentioned is in through there as well. There's one of the record store day traditions of the Jazz Dispensary, various artists. Very cool stuff indeed. Let's see here. Weekend. John Williams. Oh, had a question on this one. The Cowboys, the original motion picture soundtrack from John Williams, was originally scheduled to come out for Record Store Day in April. Pressing delays pushed that back to November. $36, 50th anniversary celebrating the John Wayne Western with a score composed by the living legend John Williams. Cowboys was released in 1972 as the Maestro's biggest pre-Star Wars score. So very much needed reissue on that. 3,000 of those being pressed. So I know there's a couple of folks looking for that as well. So, all right. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comments below. We'll try to get to those and talk a little bit about them as well. But very much looking forward to Record Store Day, Black Friday, as we do all the time here at the Wasteland. And I thank you guys for indulging us with this live stream this evening. If you do get a chance, as I mentioned, please check out our brand new website at radiowastelandrecords.com. We'll be doing a little bit more in-depth stuff on this. I'll mention it on my Saturday Live as well. But this is now absolutely up and running, and it's live and ready to go. We've even taken a couple of pre-orders on this website as well, but it's very, very cool. If you dig around on that, and like I said, one thing to check for too, if you click on the shop store, the second item down right now is collectible vinyl. And in addition to listing only a few things, as I do on Discogs, I don't list a lot on Discogs, but I do plan on listing a bunch of our high-end collectibles here on our store page. So you can check that out. We'll update this as it goes in. I've only got a few things in there, a couple of MoFis, and then the big box set of Iron Maiden that we talked about on the live last week. But again, radiowastelandrecords.com, you check it out. And one minor note, we're still kind of tweaking some of the stuff on the site. But if you're looking at the pre-order upcoming vinyl, and let's take, like, for example, these Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusions. If you look at the quick view, it doesn't give you much information on that, nor when is it coming out. But if you actually click past the quick view and to the page itself, it'll tell you the release date. So, for example, that's coming out November 11th and gives you a track listing and gives you choices. So you can pre-order through us like normal, or you can pre-order through our website and have a pickup in the store, or you can pre-order through our website and have it shipped to your house. Whatever you want to do. We're stepping into the early 2000s now here at Radio Wasteland. So, all right. I think that will just about cover it. I see that we're coming up on 7 o'clock. I've talked for 1 hour straight with nary a drink, and I'm starting to cough a little bit, but it's time to go home and chow down on some dinner. I thank you guys very much for hanging out and doing this. If you like doing these live streams, we'll probably do a couple of these. Now, when Record Store Day Black Friday gets closer, we will do our annual live preview. Now, this is just talking about the releases and the things that we would like to try to get in, give you guys a chance to ask questions back and forth. But as tradition here at the Wasteland, before Record Store Days proper, we will do a live preview showing you actually what we do have in store. That helps you make a better informed choice on whether or not you're going to stand in line, what time you want to get in line, where we will actually hold up and say, we have got 5 copies of this. We have got 1 copy of this. And that way you can make some informed decisions on how you zip yourself around to the other record stores, and starting with us, hopefully, to get the releases that you want to get. So look for that one, our special live preview on Wednesday. We're not going to do it on Thanksgiving, the day before Black Friday, but we will do it Wednesday evening at 6 p.m., 2 days, the day before Thanksgiving. So 2 days before the Black Friday event. So that being said, I hope you guys have a great evening. There will be 2 vinyl drops tomorrow, by the way, for those of you who watch our YouTube channel. We are going to do our normal Friday drop, and then I've got a box of country music that we've been just meaning to get to that we will put out as a separate video as well. So if you have not yet done so, please hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel and comment, like, share, do what you got to do to let yourself know that we're putting videos out, and hit that notifications bell. So thank you guys very much, and have a great evening. And here's to a fantastic Record Store Day, Black Friday 2022. We will see you guys tomorrow from the Wasteland with our Friday drops, and Saturday for our next live. Thanks again for being here, everyone. Have a great night.